What's up internet, I'm back once again with another SQL tutorial. In today's SQL tutorial we will learn how to insert data into a table using Insert DML statement. This is the second tutorial in the how to insert data into a table series. Before we start, I want to make one little request. Please subscribe to my channel and like my videos. You can also share my videos on your social networking and help me in reaching to more people. Thanks. Let's start today's tutorial. For the demonstration of insert statement, I have already created a table. Actually, this is the same table student which I had used in the last tutorial. Let's see the structure of student table. This table has 4 columns where column 1 stu_id is a primary key and column 2 first name has not null constraint. Before moving ahead, let's take a look at the syntax of insert DML statement. You can use insert statement in two ways. First, when you want to insert data only into some specific columns. Here is the syntax. Insert keyword is always followed by into keyword. Thus, our insert statement starts with insert into, followed by the table name in which you want to insert the row. And then we have our list of column enclosed in parentheses. And after that, we have our keyword values followed by the value of the column which you want to insert, again enclosed in parentheses. Second, when you want to insert data into all the columns of your table. And here is the syntax. Syntax is pretty similar to the previous one, except that here we do not have a list of column name. When you do not specify the list of column name, then Oracle engine will automatically assume that you want to insert value in all the columns of the table which you have specified. Thus, it becomes mandatory for you to supply value for all the columns of your table. Failing to do so will result in error. There are few restrictions with both the syntax which you can read on my website. Link is in the description box. Hope syntax is clear. Let's once again jump to the SQL developer and do some query. Query 1. Insert data into all the columns of table student. As I have already told you that I'll be using same student table which I have created in the last tutorial. Table student has 4 columns and we will be inserting values in all these 4 columns. Let's write the query. But before that, let me adjust this SQL Developer IDE. This is our student table. And as you can see right now, we don't have any data inside this student table. Now let's write our first query. This is a very simple query. We are inserting value in all 4 columns of our table student. But as I have already told you while explaining the syntax that when we are inserting values in all the columns of a table, then specifying column names are not mandatory. Rather, it is optional. Thus, we can modify this query and delete the column name list followed by the table name student. Just to show you the difference, what I will do is that I will copy and paste the query and modify it. So let's copy this query. And I will paste it here. And now we will modify it. What we have to do, we just need to delete this column name list. That's it. Both these queries are the same and perform the same task of inserting value in all the 4 columns of the table. Let's execute both of them one by one. Let's execute the first one. One row inserted. Now let's refresh and see the result. Here is our first row in the table student. Now let's execute the second query, but before that we have to change the value of stu_id column as it's a primary key, so we cannot enter a duplicate value. By the way, I have done a video on primary and foreign key constraint. If you want, you can watch them. I will put the link in the description box. Okay, now let's quickly modify this query. What we have to do, we have to change this value from 1 to 2. You can specify any number here. Okay, now execute this query. One row inserted. Let's refresh here. As you can see, here is our second row. As you can see, both the query perform the same task and enter the value in all the 4 columns of student table. There are few things which you should always remember, such as all the column name and their value must be separated using commas. Order of values must match with the order of column name. In case you are not specifying column name as we did in the second query, then the order of column must be exactly the same as that of the order of column in your table. And date and character values means the column with the data type char or varchar and date must be enclosed in single quotation mark. You can visit my blog and read the full list of restrictions on insert statement. I suggest you to read as this will prevent you from writing wrong insert query. Now let's write our second query. Say we just want to enter data only into StuID first and last name column and not into the contact column. We can only omit last name and contact column as these both column allow null values, but column StuID is a primary key and first name has not null constraint. Thus these two are mandatory column. Let's write the query. Let me make some space. As I told you while explaining the syntax that when you want to insert data into selected or say some specific columns and not in all the columns, then you have to specify the column name in which you want to insert the data. Let's execute the query. Here we go. One row inserted. Let's refresh and check out the result. Here is our third row. As you can see, we have values in our first three columns. StuID, which is 3, first name, which is super, last name, which is man. But the last column has null value, which is contact. Hope you learned something. In the next tutorial, we will see the third way of inserting data into a table. Please do comment your feedback. That's it for today. Hope you guys enjoyed watching. Don't forget to subscribe and give me thumbs up if you like this video and share with your friend too. Thanks. We'll see you soon. This is Manish from Rebellion Rider.